And I'd like to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to come here tonight and discuss the impact of these proposed budget cuts and how they will, the impact they'll have on our schools. With your permission, I think it would be helpful if I provided briefly some information on how the past 5 fiscal years have impacted Turkey Hill Middle School in terms of numbers of licensed personnel, student enrollment, and where we're going to go in FY13. I've provided a graph that represents the last 5 years of enrollment and the number of licensed teachers in the building servicing students. As you can see at the top of the chart, the last 5 years at Turkey Hill has remained relatively constant. There's a fluctuation of about 18 students or so, which equates to approximately 1 less student per content area teacher per classroom. As for our number of licensed teachers, those numbers are represented as full-time equivalents, because with the sharing of staff between the elementary school and the high school, time in teaching at the middle school is sometimes split. So that is why you see a decimal number in some of these figures, a 0.2 representing a teacher teaching 1 section in the building, a 0.4 teaching 2 sections, and so on, with 5 sections being a full-time equivalent. As you can see in the graph, in FY09, there's been a steady reduction in licensed teaching faculty. We have been making reductions in personnel while continuing to battle and maintain the same level of educational excellence that we have become accustomed to here at Lunenburg. In my first year of principal in FY11, we endured some drastic cuts. Even after those reductions, though, we reflected upon our practices. We shared staff with other buildings to maximize our personnel, and at the same time, keeping that constant student enrollment as previous years. Now we have the daunting task of making equally drastic cuts to our faculty. I want to say that these cuts will affect services and programs. The proposed cuts to FY13 budget for the middle school include a reduction of a special education teacher. The impact on students is that special education teacher caseloads will increase from approximately 18 to 20 to 30 to 31 students. Evaluations and timelines that are mandated by state and federal laws and that are completed by special education teachers will have to be completed with 1 less faculty member. Because of the increase in time on completing evaluations, face time with students will decrease. And with a decrease of reduction in classroom face time, the resources provided the regular education teacher to meet all the students' needs will be significantly reduced. Our co-teaching model of instruction, one that we're very proud of, which supports shared student responsibilities in the classroom, will be greatly reduced or eliminated. Content area teachers will be responsible for meeting the needs of students with and without special needs, and without the additional support of a special education teacher in the classroom. The reduction in support will greatly restrict classroom teachers' ability to provide flexible groupings for high-end learners and for struggling learners. There is also a reduction of a grade 6 teacher. That is a level service cut, but that will mean that I will need to reconfigure interdisciplinary teams. At this present moment, our 6th grade has 2 teams of 3 teachers. I would need to reconfigure to have 1 team of 2 teachers and 1 team of 3 teachers with reduced special education support and classroom teacher expertise. And this reduction comes at a traditionally difficult time for students that transition from different buildings from grade 5 to grade 6. We also have a reduction in a half-time technology teacher. I myself, as troubled as Dr. Lane and the reduction in a technology teacher, it reduces the services we provide to all students in preparing and providing the expertise they need to thrive in a technology-based society, as well as teaching important concepts such as internet safety, keyboarding, the use of programs such as PowerPoint and Excel. This cut also reduces the support provided for the engineering piece of our curriculum at the grade 8 science and technology with our MCAS testing. Another reduction at the specialized teaching level also restricts our ability to provide teacher preparation and it eliminates common planning time during the school day. A reduction of common planning time of this proportion has not been seen at the middle school level. As you know, common planning time is one of the pillars in which a successful middle school is built. We also have an equivalent of a reduction of a full-time physical education and health teacher. The sharing of a phys ed health teacher with the elementary school will eliminate our ability to provide health instruction at each grade level as a separate class that is so important to our early adolescents. It reduces our ability to educate around anti-bullying, nutrition, healthy choices, healthy decision-making, and it also reduces our ability to provide preparation and common planning time in our building. There would also be a reduction of $10,000 of supplies and materials. That reduction decreases the amount of resources and materials allocated to students and teachers to access the curriculum and to supplement and enrich their educational experience. The proposed cuts that we're talking about tonight represent a drastic reduction in services and support that we can provide to all students in Lunenburg. Now, I was fortunate enough to be part of Turkey Hill Middle School in 2005 when we were designated an award-winning school by the Department of Education, based on our cost-efficient services and practices that had high impact on student performance. Now, as principal of the school, I continue to work to maintain those practices, which we were recognized for excellence, and create new opportunities and programs for students. With the cuts proposed for the 2013 budget, I'm concerned with our capacity to provide an award-winning level of service to students of Lunenburg, and that's what they deserve. So I continue to be fortunate to be part of Turkey Hill Middle School, and I will continue to work to maximize the resources that you provide us. And I thank you once again for the opportunity to talk tonight. And at this point, if anyone had any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
Thanks, Tim.
Try to take a sip of water.
Any questions or comments? Anything from the floor at all? No, good. Thanks, Tim.
Just to note, I thank you for also including a perspective over several years that these cuts are not this year. These are cuts that have happened over many years, and it is like the case of being put in a pot of boiling water. At one point, it's going to be hot,
Absolutely.
And then at one point, it's going to kill you.
I agree. Thank you.
And Mr. Mack, and I think everyone's aware that we'll move forward and put similar charts together for each one of the schools, because this has been a continued process as we've adjusted at trying to maintain the programs and keep that quality high. And so similar kinds of comparison charts will be available in the next couple days at the website. All of these impact statements will be posted in the next couple days for the public to be able to access and share with others, which we hope you do. Going out in your neighborhood, having a neighborhood get-together and sharing the realities of what these cuts will mean for our students.